What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my juggling and beautiful co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. What's up, guys?
What up?
Josh,
I was the only one juggling. I was trying to juggle. I was like, does this look weird?
Beautiful.
Mission accomplished, Kelly. Guys, joining us today is our beautiful and very smart guest, Kelly in Phoenix. She's going to be here to kick our ass at a redraft mock draft today. She was already telling me how excited she was for the mock. Glad to have you here. Guys, if you do not know Kelly, you can find her on Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. She's a contributor for the Commish, IBT Media, and Club Fantasy FFL. Kelly, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Thank you for having me. I love being here.
We love having you on. It's been a while. I think last time you came on was with Coop for some team fantasy fortune, if I remember correctly. And today we are switching it up a little bit. We're gonna mock draft. We're gonna mock today. We got some people in the chat ready to mock with us. Craig said he's still trying to figure out which Phoenix it is that Kelly is in. His guess this week is Maryland. Is it Maryland? Phoenix, Maryland, Kelly?
Damn,
Craig. You're gonna have to guess again, Craig. We got Cal in here. What's up, Cal? We are gonna get super flexy in here. Flooper sexy is how we're going to be feeling.
Flooper sexy.
Flooper sexy. And Jay, what's up? Happy Mock Draft Monday to you as well. And happy President's Day. Maria said, thankful for the presidents and this glorious day off.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Trippy Trout, what's up? Welcome in. And Alex, peaked in high school, my man. Welcome into the chat. And, you know, I got to shake this man's hand for the first time ever. I met him in real life last week. It wasn't the only, I also shook his head. He didn't like that one as much, though.
He did not. He did not.
What's up, Dame? Heidi ho to you as well. And Jordan, hey, boys and girl. Come on, Jordan. Mr. Scampers, what's up? Welcome in our favorite cat in the chat. Oh, he corrected it. And Kelly. We're just generic boys. You get a whole first name and everything from Jordan over there. J-Wall said, you know you're in love when you can't fall asleep because reality is finally better than your dreams. I'm going to tell my girlfriend that's why I have insomnia issues. Jay, you use that one too. We're so in love that we can't.
Too bad Maria's watching this one. So.
Yeah, and you're telling the truth, right?
Yeah, and I am telling the truth. I told J-Wall to say that.
You did. What's up, Albert? Welcome and good afternoon to you as well. And Dan said, I'm just here to let Josh know I'm going to kick his ass at poker in Canton. You ready for that?
Yeah, right. Dan is going to? Dan Turner? No. I got you, Dan.
And you already got a cheering section in the chat, Kelly. Dan said, amazing guest right there with you. Peaked in High School says, we are going to mock each other. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. We're not mock drafting today. We're just going to take turns mocking each other relentlessly. So I think you guys would all take turns mocking me first, and then we'll go around the circle, take turns. So I'm here said, yo, 2 ads getting that money. Yeah, and we fully endorse every product that shows up on your screen. I have no idea what they are, but yeah, full endorsement on our end. I hope it's nothing bad. Swamp, what's up? Welcome in, though. Glad to have you here. You got to stop working so much. And Alex says he is trapped in Vegas. We'll send someone to come rescue you next January. So try to survive until then. What's up, JB Chonos? Welcome in. Glad to have you here. Guys, I know we want to mock draft, but we have to jump into a couple things first. Number one, very important. If you are not already following our guest right now, go over to Twitter and do that. Like I said, she's on Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. She's one of our favorite people in this space. You get the fantasy football content, but you also get that lifestyle content that you don't get from a lot of these analysts. I love getting peeks into what you're doing, Kelly, the food you're making, the outfit you're putting together. So make sure you guys go follow Kelly. It's not just an analyst. You get a slice of Kelly's life on her Twitter over there.
Slice of Kelly.
A slice of Kelly.
A little sassiness. I've been a little sassy the last couple of days.
You got to have a little bite on Twitter. Otherwise, it's going to bite you. And Alex says, those white earbuds clash with that black shirt, Josh.
Ooh, burn.
Too bad this is a dark gray, Alex.
Get mocked.
Ooh, got your back.
Double burn.
You know what? I have something to say to you, Alex. I have something to say to you, all right? Not having the best situation, but seeing the best in your situation is the key to happiness.
Okay. There we go. Everyone take that advice as we go into the mock draft today. We talk about situation a lot here. I'm sure you can apply that quote to fantasy football. Yeah. Before we get started with our mock draft, though, guys, if you're watching this video, that means you're already on our YouTube or Twitch channels. If you're on Twitch, hit that follow button. And if you're on YouTube, smash that like and then make sure you're subscribed to us at Front Yard Fantasy. It's the easiest way to show your support for what we're doing. And Josh will adopt a dog for every new subscriber we get today. He's going to adopt a puppy from the local animal shelter. So make that
For
happen.
every 1,000 subscribers we get today, I'll adopt a dog.
Okay, watch
Josh's next short is just going to be him just cut like his whole house filled with puppies.
Thanks for subscribing.
Guys, it's too
today,
much.
guys.
Please unsubscribe.
Okay, guys, we are going to jump into our mock draft. Let me go ahead and pull that up for us now.
J-Will said, so Josh is allowed to steal my motivational quotes, but I can't say trading makes fantasy fun.
Absolutely.
First of all,
seniority.
No one said you couldn't say it. You said it regardless of what anyone said to you. So, and second of all, you don't say motivational quotes. You just say something weird about believing. And I don't think anyone actually ever said it. You just are making up stuff. I'm actually saying quotes. So,
it's a J-Lo quote. Everything you say is a quote. Right?
Yep, that's true.
You can't say anything that's not a quote. Come here now said Simon team kills Josh on Rainbow Siege 6. Absolutely not. I don't. I am terrible at shooting games. I would get absolutely demolished by a. What does that mean? See, I don't even know.
You shoot me and I'm on your team and I die.
Oh, yeah. I team kill Josh. Yep. 100%. Absolutely. That's what happens. Guys, today we are doing a Superflex PPR mock draft, but unlike our previous ones, this one is redraft. We're just looking at 2022. None of that and beyond nonsense. You don't have to worry if a guy's 27, as long as he's going to produce this year. So a rundown of the rosters, how this is going to work. We have 1 quarterback position, 2 running back positions, 3 wide receiver positions, a tight end, a flex, and a super flex. And so super flex, if you have not played before, means you can put a quarterback in that spot. It's like a normal flex spot, but you can also put a quarterback in there. And with quarterbacks being the position that generally score the most points, more times than not, you're going to want to start 2 quarterbacks. We've got a full house in here. Kelly picking from the 2 spot. I'm picking from the 7 spot, Josh from the 9 spot, and JL is going to be commentating on today's draft, going through our picks, talking about them, asking us some follow-up questions. You guys ready?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go ahead and start this draft. Arsenal has the first pick, and I'm curious to see how these first couple picks play out, because I think
just got an ad in our video. What the hell? Me. It's our own account. I got an ad.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, I don't.
You're just going to get their money however they can.
Yeah.
All right, we're storming right through here.
When Kelly grabbed, is that your guy? Is that who you wanted, Kelly?
He's not my guy, but I mean, it'd be silly not to.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. Him or a couple other quarterbacks. So I just know some people have been pumping that Josh Allen horn since like 2 years ago, saying he should be the QB1 in Dynasty. And it seems like,
horn.
Is that what it sounds like, Jay?
That's what it is. Yep.
That's not my horn, but I don't want to say who it is because then I might get snaked.
It's fair. That's 100% fair right there.
That's a good point. Yeah. So we got Jonathan Taylor going first, followed by Josh Allen, followed by Patrick Mahomes, and Derrick Henry, and Justin Herbert. Pretty good. Pretty solid start. Derrick Henry feeling like a little early for Derrick Henry. Am I wrong? How you feel about that, Cal?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I did not have that on my bingo card.
Me neither.
For the first round.
Simon, what do you think? You're about to say something.
I think in redraft, it's fine. I have no issues with him going that high. I expect similar production to what we saw before he got injured this year. And like, maybe you're worried about the future, but man, I don't really have any issues with it. There's probably a couple quarterbacks I would have taken ahead of him, but this is the range where you got to start looking at Derrick Henry if you want him. He's not coming back in the second.
That's fair. Totally fair. Josh, would you take Derrick Henry that early in redraft?
I mean, let's just take the quarterbacks out of it. Let's just say this is not a super flex league. Yeah, I think you can consider Derrick Henry as your number 2 overall pick easily. You got Jonathan Taylor, I think is going to be the number 1 overall pick in most formats, but then Derrick Henry is right there staring at you in the face. I'm completely fine with that, to be honest with you.
But you can't say it's not a super flex league. Let's just say this is 1 quarterback. It's not.
Well, I was just making the point that if we take the quarterbacks out of it, he could be my number 2 guy, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then if he's your number 2 guy without the quarterbacks, then right after Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes, I think that's completely fine.
Yeah, I think there's a tier break with those 2 quarterbacks. Thank you, Kelly.
And Alex asking, is it PPR or standard league? This is PPR.
PPR.
PPR. And Brady saying Henry is absolutely a top 8 pick in redraft.
Yeah,
Come
I
here
don't,
now.
I don't disagree.
Come here asking, redraft is standard league? Yes. This is where the terminology gets a little tricky. So redraft just means that we're it's what you're most used to, year to year. It's you draft a new team at the beginning of each season. So it's different from dynasty or keeper leagues. PPR or standard usually refers to the scoring system, which is you don't get a point per reception. So it's just based off of usually yards and touchdowns. And so there's like standard, half PPR, or PPR. It's
So
kind of a misnomer. It's not a great name.
I get where that confusion is because like redraft probably is your standard league that you play in, but the word standard league has a different,
usually refers to scoring.
different connotation here.
Standard actually is called by a lot of people now, including ESPN, I believe, just
non-PPR. Yeah, I think that's much clearer. Yeah, much clearer terminology.
And I think it's not standard anymore. Know what I mean? Like that's probably why they changed it. Like standard isn't standard.
Exactly.
Simon going Tyreek Hill. Simon, you sounded like a little bit concerned after you took your pick. Not concerned or regretful.
Not concerned. Not regretful. It was right before I made my pick. I was between three people. There were like three different routes I could go down, and I feel like it changed. Like any of those three would have changed my draft strategy. Oh, is that your guy?
Yeah.
Jalen
Hurts didn't make it back. But I was between they're all gone now, so I can say it. Tyreek Hill, Austin Eckler, and Lamar Jackson were the three different players I was looking at that spot. All of them were my highest ranked player at their respective position left on the board for next season. But man, when put in a time crunch, there were 5 seconds left. I'm going to default to my wide receivers.
I think that's fair.
I did not expect Hurts to go right there, so I'm
It's kind of early.
It's a lot early. At least according to Twitter, everybody. You know what? I'll take the points. Everybody can bag on him all they want.
Yeah, he's got that rushing floor.
So I think that's the part why you're probably going to end up seeing him in a Superflex redraft league go before, which is strange because he's a young guy. He's only 23 years old, but I think you're going to see him go before he would in a dynasty league. For a young quarterback, that's insane. But I think just people are concerned about his future in the NFL and whether a team's actually going to fully commit to him. But as we saw last year, when he was on the field, he was great. He was awesome. And he's going to run around a lot, so I don't see why we wouldn't expect that this upcoming year, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Josh, you took Cooper Kupp and then Dalvin Cook. It's a solid, balanced start to the draft. Is this how are you feeling so far? Is this normally how you like to construct your teams at the beginning here in rounds 1 and 2?
Well, I actually put out a tweet before this mock draft here that I was going to try something different here. My plan coming into this was I'm not going to be drafting quarterback. I might be giving something away here, but I am going to be waiting as long as I possibly can in quarterback and seeing what happens. Yeah, I want to see how that turns out. I'm much more comfortable doing that in a non-dynasty league.
Yeah,
where I can take older quarterbacks at the end and still feel very comfortable about them this season.
Yeah, the implications are far less long term, right? So it's a little bit more fun to experiment, and mock drafts even more so, right? Like that's why we mock draft, is to explore with these different methodologies here, strategies. It looks like Simon is copying your strategy here. With the
I went wide receiver first before he went wide receiver.
I can only assume that he is copying you. That
Josh copied me just as much as I copied him. He saw me take Tyreek Hill and he was like, "Ooh, I want a Cooper Kupp." And then he didn't have a second pick for me to go off of, so he had to go freestyle.
Yeah. Maybe,
but
you predicted what I was going to do. I was highly contemplating Devontae Adams or Dalvin Cook. I was going back and forth, but I ended up going a little bit more balanced, taking Dalvin Cook there.
And I was highly contemplating, hoping that Devontae Adams made it to my pick. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams start would have been, I would have been so happy.
Almost as good as Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams start. Close.
Close.
Oh, am I allowed to say that? Sorry.
You could say it all.
I was going to pick Diggs because I was going to go for the stack. I was sitting here sweating.
That would have been
sweating in my armpits, like
swamp with the snipe.
Swamp with the snipe. Mr. Scamper's in here asking, why is half PPR not the universal format? People like playing different ways, I guess. I'm not sure.
I
can't tell you. Yeah, a lot of people like PPR. I think I usually just default to PPR.
I was going to say Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
No, finish.
I was gonna say the
There's
reason
really
I like
no
PPR,
universal format. Period. First of all, to answer your
Yeah.
question, you know.
I like
I'm
PPR best
still-
because most of the leagues I play in are PPR, and I have the most familiarity with it. Like whenever I think about players.
Yeah.
Oh, Kelly,
Oh,
did it time
gosh.
you out?
Yes, but that's fine.
Oh,
No, we're good. We can help
That
you
was
out
going to
there
be
a little
my
bit.
third pick.
Okay. I mean, it's not bad big.
so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let Arsenal keep Matthew Stafford. So I hope that wasn't your next pick. That
It
way
was
I'm not
not.
taking away someone's pick. So we'll resume the draft, and you've got you're still on auto. God,
Why? Where is that
I think you have to click your avatar
man.
and click
I
off.
apologize, everyone.
at? It's my fault. It's my fault. Turn
I
off
apologize for
autopick.
nothing.
Oh, there
I'm
we go.
packing
Okay,
it. Okay.
there we go.
Okay. Sorry about that.
All good.
And Jay said his real name is wait, what is this in reference to?
Kelly, what's funny is if we would have just left it, you would have ended up with the same players, just in a different order.
I would have.
Mark
why I
Andrews
was
with that
gonna
first
say.
one, and Nick Chubb with the second
This
one.
is good, though. This is good.
It's fine. Jay saying I'm related to Dr. Seuss, and then said his name is Theodore Giesel.
Mhm.
Geisel? Theodore Giesel. My grandfather is his great nephew. Wow, that's interesting.
Congratulations,
I believe
Jay.
him. I believe him.
Yeah, I believe him too.
Why don't
Jordan
you rhyme
asks-
more?
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, that's a good question, Simon.
If you're related to
Are
Dr.
you really
Seuss, you
related?
should rhyme pretty regularly.
Yeah. Why do you talk the way you talk, like a normal person?
Like,
Riddle me
Come
that.
on.
Christian McCaffrey was 84 on this list.
That's wild if true. I don't know if it is.
Hold on. Show drafted players. Let's find Christian
I'm like-
McCaffrey.
Seriously.
He is
Just
84 on
like
this
that.
list, and that is freaking ridiculous.
That is wild.
That's my
You
favorite
know
part
what? He's
about.
after Higbee, Gesicki, Boyd, Pollard.
What?
Hey,
All right,
Kelly,
so their
if it,
ADP is whack.
if it helps at all, Kelly, you took a stack away from Z2. Z2 was going for that stack. Looks like the Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews stack. So you got some payback just on the wrong
Mark
person.
Andrews instead of Diggs, huh? Yeah, so if you wanted it.
And Jay was correct. But Geisel. I'm gonna keep saying Giesel just to be
Giesel.
disrespectful.
Yeah, definitely
Giesel.
Giesel.
Yeah. All right,
Hmm.
Kelly
I'm
taking
going
Nick
bold.
Chubb and then Mark Andrews in the second and third. I like this approach. I feel like most people a lot of people will talk about maybe not taking a quarterback and a tight end in those first like 4-ish rounds. How are you thinking about your strategy here, your team construction, and why go Mark Andrews, over any other players here at this position?
Well, first of all, if anybody follows me on Twitter, I love Mark Andrews. He's my boyfriend. But that's not why I picked him. I typically like to choose a tight end early, one of the top 3, because in my experience, I've found that it's perfect for just that points production. Even in a flex position, I like to have multiple tight ends playing. So that's why.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
in a Superflex league that because of the inflated value of quarterback, it kind of becomes more like the running back, wide receiver positions
Yeah.
in terms of like where they're going to be drafted. So I don't view like that strategy you're talking about, JL, like that's whenever you're taking 2 of the one-offs early on. I feel like in Superflex, that importance of not going with multiple one-offs early on kind of gets lessened. Not that you can't successfully do that in a 1 quarterback league as well. You can build a successful team that way, but in Superflex, it's even more likely that you're going to be able to piece together something that you like.
Totally
Plus,
fair.
the room's really small. The tight end room is not.
Oh, I thought you
Right.
meant like the
Yeah.
draft room. And I was like, yeah, well, there's only
This
about
is
12
pretty
people.
small.
Josh, did you have trouble with that one? You seemed to
I did.
take a
I
minute.
did. I had a lot of trouble. But I ended up taking Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, when we're talking about Zeke, I think everyone's got to realize, he's a little bit older in Dynasty. I'm not taking him this early, but he's always a running back 1 every single year of his career, except for 2017 at PPR. He was 13th. In Center League, he was number 9 overall. That was his worst year, and that's when he only played 10 games. So I gotta assume I'm getting a running back 1 here, right?
Yeah,
I would think so.
you are. I think you are.
I was between him and Kamara and Saquon. Those were the 3 guys I was debating between for that pick, but decided to go Kamara, even with the question marks there in New Orleans. Also, Swamp apologizing to you, Kelly. He said, sorry for stealing your stack.
Okay.
Forgiveness. That's what the stream's all about sometimes.
That's
Unless
what
it's
the
JL that
stream's
I'm trying to
all
forgive.
about.
I never forgive JL.
Never forgive, never forget. Brady saying, in my opinion, CMC should be drafted before Jonathan Taylor for his potential ceiling. Yeah, I think I personally have them back to back in redraft formats. I think they're very close.
Nobody worried about injury again this season. He was out so many games.
I'm not worried more than I am for any other player who gets injury. The type of injury CMC has had over the last 2 seasons.
Compared to Jonathan Taylor, who hasn't really ever.
Well, sure, but he hasn't played as much, so I don't think that it's.
Well, that's a factor here, right? Doesn't it add up typically?
It could potentially affect it, but we're going to see Jonathan Taylor get injured at some point in his career. I think we'll start to see that in the same way that CMC had a healthy first 2 seasons of his career. I'm not as worried. Of course, the age, I think I would give the edge to Jonathan Taylor here. But I think CMC, especially in PPR formats, very likely they could finish back to back.
Yeah,
what
and
you said was at some point in his career.
If they finish back to back,
this
then you
is
got
like this.
Yeah. Sorry, what were you saying, Kelly?
I was just saying that it's not really fair to say he's going to get injured at some point in his career. CMC's already been injured, missed so many games last season.
Yeah.
And I just think that it's way more risky.
So how I view it is there may be some more risk there, but even with that additional risk, that's why he's behind Jonathan Taylor for me, but he's not much behind Jonathan Taylor, even with that built-in risk, because we know what the upside is. And then let's look at the world. How I'm kind of ranking him now is assuming he gets 80% of the workload that we've seen him have previously. 80% of the Christian McCaffrey's workload, if they're trying to manage that workload, prevent injuries, is still a top 3 running back in PPR formats in my eyes. So like that additional risk I'm kind of building in, and what it does is it knocks them from 1 to 3 or 1 to 2, like out of that number 1 spot, because without that risk, I think he's a clear number 1 overall, but that risk makes it knocks him down. And where some players that might knock him out of the top 12, a guy like Christian McCaffrey, it just takes him. Oh no, and George Kittle got taken. Sorry, I just realized it was my turn.
Gotcha.
No. Now what do I do? And I only have 20 seconds. This is the worst day of my life.
Jalen Waddle was a really good value there. I like Z2's team.
Yeah, Z2 is building a beast team. I would love that team in Dynasty, man.
If it was Dynasty,
And Jason and Kelly. Oh,
sorry, Marty saying, "What's up, guys?" And Kelly, what up, Marty? And then Jay saying, "Kelly hit the nail on the head."
Ouch.
And Brady saying, "Man, y'all are toast if this is a real league." I'm toast anyway, so ha.
Yeah, well, you need a wide receiver first, Brady, before anybody's toast.
It's true.
It's a 3 wide receiver league.
I like
it.
Toast.
I do like toast as well. Ooh, I had some bomb like pecan crusted French toast on Saturday. It was so good. It was incredible with jalapeno maple syrup on top. It was.
Well, that does sound good.
Some top tier French toast.
I totally just burped. Did you hear that? It was in my throat.
I think I've conditioned them to be immune to other people burping on stream because I get the kombucha burp so often over here.
We just thought that was Simon, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, Swamp's team I'm liking pretty good so far too. Started with Patrick Mahomes to Stephon Diggs to Deebo Samuel. That's a pretty solid start.
Yeah, that's good value on Deebo.
I did something a little different here. Usually I go Mike Evans at this point. That's where I would draft Mike Evans, but I've been adjusting my redraft rankings for next season. I still love Mike Evans, but I think at this point, Keenan Allen has to be ranked ahead of him with what he's done and the consistency in that situation there, how that offense runs. So that is a recent change for me. It hurt my feelings to move Mike Evans down, but I think that's the right move. Would you guys take Keenan Allen over Mike Evans? Josh, I saw you saying, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because like you said, the situation. Keenan Allen's paired with Justin Herbert. Mike Evans is paired with question mark. And that's a big thing for me.
Huge thing. Kelly, what about you? Do you prefer Keenan Allen over Mike Evans?
Yeah, I would go Keenan Allen as well.
Man, it just hurts my feelings to do that. I love Mike Evans.
Now, if you told me they're both playing with Justin Herbert, which one am I taking? Well, Keenan Allen's obviously built the chemistry with Justin Herbert, so maybe that's not fair. But in a bubble, Yeah, I'll lean towards Mike Evans. Yeah.
Yeah. Or so what you're saying is if they have the same quarterback situation, you
Yeah.
would lean Mike Evans. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. I know that. I don't know how I feel about that, but
You question your own Clyde Edwards-Helaire pick there?
kind of, because I almost went Jacobs just because I think Carr is solid for next year. Definitely didn't want to go Aaron Jones just because of the uncertainty factor. Yeah, I'm
So for
almost
me on
wishing
that
I went
pick,
Jacobs instead of
I like
that.
it. There's a lot of upside, right?
It keeps the stack from happening. That helps.
Yeah. And I think JL specifically, I know Josh, they've been a little bit higher on CEH than maybe some others. I know I'm a bit lower. But JL, I know you like CEH going into next season, right? At value, at cost, maybe not in a vacuum.
Yeah, I mean, I've been higher on CEH. I still think he has a good opportunity this upcoming season, but my resolve is definitely getting tested. I mean, I don't know how much longer do they keep with him. He had injury concerns this past season. How much of that is preventable versus how much of that is skill? Like at some point we have to see it. It's the same as guys like Courtland Sutton, some of these other guys that like tons of talent, tons of opportunity, but we got to see it. I personally, Alex said Jacobs over CEH. I think I would take Jacobs over CEH for sure. And redraft, yeah.
I know, dang it.
I don't think you're alone in the...
Rewind.
Hey, well, he's still sitting there if you want a third running back.
I thought about it because of the flex, right? I can pop him in flex. I also would have to think about buys. So I think I actually might do that.
There you go. I don't think it's bad to grab three superstar running backs. I mean, you look at the team over there, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Travis Etienne. You're the second team with three running backs. And while maybe I like their top end, like Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, I like your third back a lot better than their third back. Like I like Etienne, but there's a lot more uncertainty with him than there is with either the second or third guy you grabbed.
I was nervous not picking a wide receiver though. But there's so much more to choose from throughout wide receivers than there are in our running backs. Yeah, deep. Exactly.
And Brady, how do you know who I'm picking? I don't even know who I'm picking next. Did I say something?
If I had to guess, I feel like I could take a guess, but I don't know if Brady's on the same page as me.
Write it down. We'll see.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. I will write it down.
Oh, I'm about to smash expectations right here, guys. You are gonna have your mind blown with my next pick. Unless
now that he knows, he's just gonna go totally different.
No, look at my draft so far. This is already fairly different from what I usually do. Najee Harris and Alvin Kamara in the first three rounds.
Let me just look through the players real fast. Make sure. Okay, I'll stick with the player that I've written down.
Come here now asking Chris Carson or CEH. That one's CEH for me. CEH for me. Mm-hmm. Everybody in agreement there?
Chris Carson's neck injury is terrifying, straight up terrifying to me. I'm not 100% sure he's going to play in the NFL. I wish the best for him, but yeah.
He's older than CEH, yeah.
I was wrong, Simon, but I had the right position. I wrote down Darren Waller.
I figured you were going to write Waller. I've been adjusting my redraft ranks for tight ends as well, and based on the production we saw from Pitts his rookie season, I think he's getting a bad rap. Not really. Some people look at it and they're disappointed, but I think most people are looking at it and seeing it was still a historical rookie tight end season. And I expect him to make that big jump next year. Brady said, had me taking DJ Moore. I wasn't even an option. Didn't even have the choice.
And Scamp said Brandon Cooks. Thought you were going to take Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, maybe in 7 rounds.
It looks like Josh and Simon, like you guys are just racing to see who drafts a quarterback last. That's what I can assume here.
I just haven't liked the value. I haven't liked the value at a single one of my picks for quarterback, and there's plenty of guys on there I'm comfy with.
So how does that so when you're a position like quarterback, which is crucial here, like you're talking about the value hasn't been there. At what point do you reach to get that sort of like capstone guy, that main guy, versus looking for pure value here?
I don't think you need a capstone guy. I don't think you have to take a capstone guy.
It doesn't feel like a term.
Or like I'm assuming you're kind of talking like the hero RB strategy, like similarly, like where you draft that one guy and then maybe you wait for value on the rest. I don't think you necessarily need that at quarterback. You can find value late, and if you're super strong at the other positions because you waited on quarterback and you grab a Mac Jones and a Carson Wentz at the end of your draft, you're going to be okay. Maybe not thrilled, but okay with it. Not like the part, when do you draft a quarterback? I'm looking. There's still plenty left that I'm comfortable with that are going to come back to me at some point, like in these next couple rounds. When I see that list start dwindling, when I'm going to be unhappy if the guys that I want get taken before my next pick, that's when I will feel forced to maybe reach on one. But the longer you wait, I feel like the less likely you are to have to reach on quarterback. Teams are going to start getting full. Like they're going to start have 2 quarterbacks already. You'll start getting some of that value dropping on these later round guys.
That's totally fair.
But drafts are different. It could play out differently. Maybe teams start loading up on 3 quarterbacks and I have to adjust earlier in the draft than I thought. Me too.
Josh taking Amari Cooper here in the 5th round. That's a Simon pick.
Yeah. No, I just thought the value was there for him for sure.
I like that. Now, if you had to choose between Amari Cooper or Kyle Pitts, Josh, which, assuming you hadn't already drafted George Kittle, who are you taking first?
Well, I'm gonna draft Darren Waller still over Kyle Pitts.
Still over both those guys. Okay.
Yeah, over both those guys. I would have taken Darren Waller here if I didn't have George Kittle. And
I gotcha.
Pitts, George Kittle, and Kyle Pitts, Darren Waller, and Amari Cooper on the board.
Yeah. Good buddy Jeff in here saying, I heard Capstone and thought I heard Cold Stone. Now I want ice cream. Thanks, FYI. You are very welcome. That is what we are here for. It's good to see you, Jeff. Good to see you in here.
Trippy Trout ran out of time.
Values.
Fire.
And he drafted famous Twitch streamer Marquise Brown.
Yes. Did we get has there been news on that yet? All I heard is Scott Fish told me in Vegas that Marquise Brown is retiring, maybe, that there are rumors, and then I hadn't heard anything else.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything else either.
We don't know. Okay.
I have no idea.
So Kelly, how are you feeling about your team so far? You got Josh Allen, Nick Chubb, Mark Andrews, CEH, and Josh Jacobs.
I actually like this, and I feel like I should adopt this going forward into my next draft.
Do you feel
I feel really good about it?
Are you unconcerned with wide receivers just because of the depth at the position?
Correct.
Yeah, that's usually how I like to draft as well.
I feel like I have a whole bunch of points right there. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Somebody just said the rumors were dismissed. Did you see that?
Ah, okay. So yeah, Brady's saying Hollywood dismissed all rumors, saying it was all made up. Very interesting.
That makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense than him quitting the NFL to become a Twitch streamer.
Nothing makes sense in the NFL.
Josh taking the second rookie off the board.
Second.
Bryce Hall went first, and then Isaiah Spiller second. Is Spiller the one? He's the one you took in our last or 2 mock drafts ago.
I think so. Honestly, he's the one that stands out to me the most. I think a lot of people. Again, it's a three-tiered running back, three-headed tier of 3 rookie running backs for me, with Kenneth Walker, Spiller, and Hall. So, in my mind right now, I'm on the Spiller train, but when it comes down to it, it's all going to depend on the landing spot, the draft capital, everything that goes into these things. As long as these guys are at least second-round picks, I'm going to be very high and bullish on all 3 of them probably, regardless of situation, but then situation's going to determine which one probably I like the most.
So if you had to pick one first, your rookie 101, is it going to be Spiller?
Yes.
It's fair. It's totally fair.
Yes. It is.
Simon on the clock.
Gross. I'm upset about everything available on the board here. I don't want any of it. Not a single one of these players do I want on my team.
Oh, there it is. First quarterback for Simon, Ryan Tannehill.
I don't know. I feel like I should have just kept on punting and grabbed Tua and Trevor at the end of the draft. But I don't know. I didn't want to draft one of these rookie wide receivers to sit on my bench for 8 games, while they figure out the NFL. I don't want to be the experimenting team on that front. So I'll just take a.
I love Kelly is just laughing at you so much. I don't know why. So funny. Is it really just the Ryan Tannehill pick who's got you?
I'm upset about
There
it.
are stop. There are so many quarterbacks available.
Straight up dragon Simon. I love it. Look at it.
What?
He's
Take
sad
take
right
Kenny
now.
Pickett, Derek Carr, Mac Jones. Like what?
Someone's crying.
Just love how much Kelly's love.
Is this just like the tier of like the boring white quarterback? Like we got like Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, Derek Carr. Like no one's excited to draft any of these guys. Carson Wentz, Mac Jones, Baker Mayfield, Daniel Jones. Like, ugh.
Craig saying Simon turning it up a notch, fan self. And then Jay saying, ew, Simon.
Yeah, I agree. This draft was going great until I ruined it with that pick. But like I'm looking back, what should I have done differently in that pick? I don't.
I would have taken Carr 100%. Like,
Man,
Listen, I don't want to give anything away. I don't think it was a horrible pick, Simon.
I'm more upset at the
would have
position I
taken
took.
Carr over Tannehill, but I don't think it's. I think it's minuscule, the difference, to be honest.
Yeah,
It comes down to the Titans want to run the ball a lot, right? I think that's the only concern.
Yeah. I just think maybe I should have gone a different position, but
Who knows? With Derrick
We'll
Henry
see.
there again, like lots of screen passes to him 2 years ago, which is what made Tannehill so good. So with him back, maybe they do that again. They revert to that strategy.
and Craig said Jamison Crowder is still on the board. So I mean, yeah, I should have taken Jamison Crowder.
Mason Rudolph on your next pick.
Absolutely not. Oh, Kelly, you got 3 seconds.
oh wait, sorry.
You're good. I caught it before it
ready.
went. You got a new timer. Oh, and then you took the guy. Oh, I was hoping, Kelly, that maybe he would sneak back around and I could grab my second one right there.
You were
Oh,
just
you grabbed it. Come here, I'll beat you. You better not do that in September 7th. You know, I was saying I was upset about this pick, but I feel like you guys are dragging Tannehill a little too much now. Like he's
We were
a
just talking him
reasonable
up.
pick in that.
We were
Yeah.
just talking him up.
I'm saying
just
in the
thinking.
chat, people like you better not do that. Like Tannehill's a fine mid-level quarterback.
Number 12 scoring quarterback last year, number 8 scoring quarterback the year before that.
He's right there.
Right. Nothing
Run
exciting.
heavy
just-
offense, both those years. Like he's efficient. He's got good weapons.
He's probably not going to be the reason I win a week, but he'll be fine.
He's not going to be the reason you lose a week, I think.
And I'm going to rest on these wide receivers and running backs and hope that they can do enough to overcome Tannehill just putting up
Even though
19 points. Or
Are you ready
22
for
points.
this? Are
Let's
you
see it.
ready?
I've never been more
Are
ready.
you ready?
Hear it and or see it and or
Are you
smell it,
ready?
whatever's coming our way.
Ooh.
Hunter
Oh,
Renfro
boy.
in the
Oh.
7th round. Where's Truly Epic in the
Or
chat?
Truly
They're
Epic.
going to be
I've
so
got
happy.
I've got him in my queue right now, or had him in my queue.
You were speaking our language. We're some Clemson boys who love Hunter Renfro. You
All
like
of
him
us are
going into
Clemson
next
boys.
season?
I love him. I love him. I have like the softest little spot for him in my heart. And so when he got the chance to do his thing, it's like, yay, you.
It's been awesome watching him find success in the NFL because I feel like
Yes.
I don't know, he was great in college, but he kind of felt like a guy who it wasn't going to translate, right? Like he was a
Mhm.
wonderful college athlete, and then here he is carving out a role. Excellent route runner, always open, and just doing what he's got to do.
And
Brady.
oops,
Sorry, go ahead.
So Dan saying Cooks is disrespected every year. Someone asked, where'd it go?
yes.
Someone asked where Cooks, why is Cooks on the board still? Oh, here we go.
Good
Scamper
find
saying
on
the
Elijah
disrespect for
Moore.
Cooks is crazy. He outperformed half the wide receivers on the board. And then Dan saying Cooks is disrespected every year. It's true.
I don't know if he outperformed
Has he gone yet?
half
Is
the
he
wide
still-
receivers on the board, but
We
well,
won't
a lot
talk
of
about
them.
him yet. We'll talk about him when he gets drafted.
Elijah Moore was a good find there. He was buried in the rankings. I had him in my queue. I thought I could be able.
Why'd you guys have to say
later.
Brandon Cook so many times out loud? Like one
Yeah.
pick before me, and I would have been able to grab him. You monsters!
You don't
Disrespected.
Need, you don't need him.
Nah, you don't need him. You're
Draft
good.
Odell. He'll be good next year, right?
Oh, yeah.
No, he won't.
Maybe.
Totally. He'll totally
Torn
be good.
ACL in the Super Bowl.
He doesn't need an ACL.
He's probably not going to be back next season. He might be back next season, but not
Late.
early. Yeah.
Chase Claypool. I like that pick.
Yeah, I don't
Chris
know what
Godwin.
the quarterback's going to be there, but I have to imagine
Yeah.
whoever the quarterback is, their current skills, they'll be able to throw the ball further than Big Ben did. Is my thought process. I have to imagine like Claypool specifically, maybe for like Deontay Johnson, the situation isn't going to improve, but I have a hard time thinking of a quarterback that's going to make this situation much worse for Chase Claypool with the type of player that he is out there. But we'll see. If the offense can't get moving, then Chase Claypool's not going to get moving either. We'll see what happens, but I like the upside of Claypool going into next season.
I got to do something here, guys. I got to do it.
Do it. Just do it.
I took my quarterback.
Justin Fields. I like that thing.
Yeah.
I feel like
through the roof.
And I feel like it actually has to do with this comment here, which Simon's going to bring up. Brady's saying, Simon, is a 12-team league. You got to draft to win. Draft like you are correct. If you take a QB late, then take upside at the end, not Tannehill.
I get what you're saying there.
Yeah, go ahead.
But my rebuttal to that, and it's not saying you're incorrect. I 100% get what you're saying. But if you draft all upside, you might be setting yourself up just for complete failure. I always think you need a balance of upside with stability on these redraft teams. And like you can look at it at a smaller window, like just wide receivers. If you draft like two wildly consistent guys, then maybe you can take a shot on one of those home run hitter type wide receivers or the Deshaun Jacksons of the past for that third wide receiver spot as a way to pair them. But if you've got three of those, like if I draft three quarterbacks at the end, Justin Fields, Tua, and Trevor Lawrence, and none of them pan out, then I'm just up shit creek without a river. But if I've got Ryan Tannehill and one of those guys at the end, and I just need to fill one spot to make my team competitive, I'm a lot more comfortable with that.
Yeah, like maybe taking a more consistent guy like Tannehill and pairing him with maybe a Davis Mills or someone like that.
Exactly.
Hate that I said that name, but
I think there's a lot of similar strategies. Like the hero RB strategy I already mentioned is very similar. You take that one guy that you know for sure is going to be a stalwart running back on your team, and then you take shots at the end and try to fill that second spot.
Right. Yeah, it feels like Josh, you took what Brady is talking about. You took that approach with Justin Fields here. High upside guy, definitely low floor potentially, but enough upside that it makes up for it.
I'm almost 100% certain he'll be the starter for the Chicago Bears the entirety of next season as long as he's healthy. So having said that, he's a running quarterback, and that's going to score him fantasy points, regardless of really how well he plays as an NFL quarterback. As long as he's out there running around, there's going to be more design runs this year. Last year, they didn't do that as much. I think the upside's through the roof. And at this value, I'm happy with it.
We met a guy in Vegas that put $1,000 on Justin Fields for MVP next season, pulled out the bet slip and showed it to us. It was to like pay out $151,000 if he was right or something like that. But I don't think you're alone. I think there's some real confidence around Justin Fields for next season.
Mm-hmm. Josh, you are on the clock. Jay saying, love that pick, Josh.
Thank you, Jay.
Z2 asking a good question. Are we out on Godwin? Now, Godwin is a great player to bring up. I wanted to bring him up last round. I am not out on Godwin. I think he's in a good position. I think this is a value pick right here. He could be on a new team this upcoming season. There's a lot of uncertainty, but I'm still bullish on Godwin and his talent. Kelly, how do you feel about Chris Godwin this next season?
I'm just thinking again about quarterback and what's going to happen. And he's a great player. I thought about drafting him, but I get so nervous when you have no idea what's going to transpire.
Yeah,
that injury happened pretty late in the season. Yeah, that injury happened pretty late in the season too. I think it was like around week 15-ish or so. He might not even be back for the start of the season. And this is a redraft league and a dynasty league. I'm very in on Godwin, but I'm concerned.
That's a great point, Josh.
When he'll be available.
Yeah, that's a great point. That definitely should be part of your consideration when drafting him.
If we knew he was going to be ready week 1, 100%, he should get drafted a lot higher than round 7, where he did get drafted here.
Full agree.
Simon taking AJ Dillon here in the 8th round.
Yeah, it felt like a value in the 8th round. Like to be this far separated from where Aaron Jones is being drafted, I feel like in Dynasty, their redraft value is actually more accurately represented, like where they're going very close to each other. Because I feel like they're going to finish close to each other next year. And I'll take AJ Dillon, 3 rounds later than Aaron Jones. His workload increased as the season went on, and I think he's going to keep that role going into next season. He's a valuable committee back, is what he is. And so that checks out with where I'm drafting him.
Probably the most valuable. Kareem Hunt.
Kareem Hunt, I think, is another one you could talk about in there, but yeah.
Oh,
I like the Leonard Fournette pick, by the way.
Yeah, Leonard Fournette pick is decent. Josh, how do you feel about Leonard Fournette going into next season?
Again, it's going to depend on the situation, and as long as he's on a team that's ready to give him the full workload, I am very bullish on Leonard Fournette for next season. And I think it's the best situation, even without Tom Brady, is probably just with the Bucs.
Yeah, I think that would be ideal for him. Ideally, he's still with Tom Brady, but second situation is he stays on the Bucs. Arians seems to really like him, want to use him, and really just focus on him, giving him the majority of the workload here. So I think that's best case scenario for him. And hopefully
he's
they
not
get
going to have a season like last year,
Probably not,
efficiency-wise, without Tom Brady. But as long as he's with the team, and we know the Bucs are going to want to use him a lot, so as long as he's with a team that is using him all the time, he's going to have a good year.
Who do you all think? Who do you think the Bucs are going to go with at QB? Do you think they'll try and draft somebody?
No.
You think that
Maybe they'll
be late, so it'll be like
They're win now.
So you think they'll sign or maybe sign a free agent or
Jimmy Garoppolo? I think makes so much sense. Like I know that's
Aaron
been saying
Rodgers.
that's the popular one. I don't think
that would be interesting.
God, that would be insane. I'm
Like
just
they
gonna
get Tom Brady and then Aaron Rodgers when Tom Brady retires.
that would be
wild.
stupid. I'm gonna go with Jimmy G as my guess for what's going on over there. Which for the wide receivers that can be fine, and for Leonard Fournette, I think that's fairly good as well. They probably won't throw the ball as much with Jimmy G under helm as they did with Tom Brady under helm, so the efficiency is likely to go down. But maybe we see some an uptick in volume for him, a more balanced approach to this offense.
Yeah, totally fair.
I was going to go with Thielen, being that this was redraft, and he had a pretty monster year for being that guy.
Yeah,
Well, you're up again. If you
But
wanted
it
to take
got
him now, you
taken.
he's
could.
taken.
Yeah.
He's taken at the 8.
Oh, you're going to go
Tyreek.
him there. Oh, gotcha. I see.
Yeah. So now shoot.
Oh, and you're having to piece together your wide receivers now. So your first wide receiver was Renfro, Robinson. Man, for waiting to the 7th round, that's not a bad it's not a bad looking wide receiver core.
Yeah.
Actually,
By the way, I put a poll in the chat.
give-
Whose team do you like the most so far? Kelly and Josh tied for 40%.
okay.
Each got 40% of the vote. Simon, you got 20% with 10 votes from the chat.
Hey, you know what? I'm used to it. Usually when I leave a draft, I don't like my team the most, but that doesn't mean it's not the best.
I really
Yeah.
like my team, guys. Really do. I want to
like it too.
keep it. I want to cut it out and then paste
Insert it to a new league. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Mark saying, let's be real. We'd all love for Davis Mills to end up being not nothing, but I can't trick myself into doing so.
What a funny way to say that.
I
Like,
know, but
nothing.
I'm with you, Mark. I feel like I understand that very much.
I
Wait,
want to
do we
will
want
him
to
into
be
being
something.
Yeah, we want him to be something. We want to
Okay.
will him.
Like
into
it'd be
being
great if he
something.
was something, but it's just like, nah.
Yeah, not nothing.
Yeah, not nothing. We all want him to be not nothing. I like that.
Stop Davis Mills from not being nothing.
There you go. Let's get that going. Brady saying he was very close to taking AJ Dillon. Very
Yeah,
close.
and thank you for just glossing over the OH. No one's giving you an IO on this stream, J Wall. Not with any sort of
I didn't even know what he was doing. I thought he was
pumped
just
up.
doing but
It's,
that's what he was doing.
it's the Ohio State cult phrase is what they say whenever they scream that in airports and
He
stuff.
didn't go to Ohio State.
But he's an Ohio State fan.
Bah. And Mark's saying Godwin seems like a guy who can make a smooth transition to a new team without any issues. And I completely agree with that. Yeah. But Josh brings up a great point. The injury, I kind of forgot about the late season injury. So that you got to keep tabs on that.
I don't want to take this player, but I'm seeing Josh and Jordan both don't have a second quarterback, and I'm
Don't
shocked
worry
this guy's still here. So I'm going to take him.
I wouldn't take a quarterback. You know me.
Tua Tagovailoa.
You
I
guys
like
know
that
how
pick.
I feel about Tua. I am very high on Tua for next season and going forward.
Yeah, understandably.
Like I would take him ahead of. I'm looking at the quarterbacks ahead of Mac
Tannehill.
Jones, Zach Wilson.
Oh yeah, easy.
Would I take him ahead of Tannehill? No, I would take Tannehill first. There's a little bit more certainty there, but Tua's right on the outside of that.
Yeah, I think I would take probably. Well, I might
take
take him
Tua
over
over
Cousins,
Fields.
but I think I would take Fields over Tua. But I think that's right where I would have him. I've been bullish on Tua all last season. I think that I think that he's very talented. And I think he just needs the right system to really unlock him and not to be injured, not to have broken ribs.
Yeah, that's usually pretty hard. And Swamp said, "Dang, Simon sniped Tua. Thank goodness I got him then. If someone else was looking for him." Josh, you need me to pause it, or you got it? You got it. Oh, your favorite player, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
I don't know. This is probably a little bit too high for him, but it's a super flex league, so is it really that high? I'm excited for Daniel Jones next year. I'm excited for him. I would draft Tua above him. There's actually some other quarterbacks that I contemplated above him anyway, but I think he's in the perfect situation. This is going to be his last year. He runs around a little bit. I like Daniel Jones.
Runs around a little bit. Scores a little points.
He can
Does
run.
a little
He can run.
dance.
And Jordan building a dynasty team over there.
Trevor Lawrence,
At
Matt
the,
Ryan.
J.K. Dobbins, Devontae Williams, Hall, Chase, Prescott, Smith, Burks, Ridley,
It
Lawrence.
would be an amazing dynasty team.
It would. I don't hate it for redraft either. I like it for redraft.
How could you hate it?
I don't think you can. Mr. Scamper's asking Godwin, Calvin Ridley, and Michael Thomas. How are you comparing them? So maybe like throw these guys in order of where you draft them. I'll just start with you, Simon.
That's tough. I think it's Ridley, Godwin, Thomas. And that's hopeful that Ridley plays. I'm thinking that he will find his way onto a team next season, but I think he's wildly talented. And when we've seen him on the field, we've been excited. He was in consideration for Dynasty wide receiver 1 last season. Godwin, there's just some uncertainty with where he's going to end up, but he's the type of player that I think should be able to slot in on another team and find success quickly. And then Thomas, I feel like, is the one with the most question marks. Like, there's question marks about him individually and question marks about the team. Question marks about the quarterback who's going to be throwing it to him, what that offense is going to look like. So he's just going to, by default, end up third on this list for me.
How about you, Kelly? How do you feel about these 3 players?
Excuse me. I would love to see Ridley come back. I think anybody that has the courage to step away and acknowledge that they need time and have that kind of talent, he definitely can make a comeback, and I would love to see that.
Yeah.
And I don't need to talk about everybody. That's the main point.
Yeah. I agree with that. Josh, do you have an opinion here? Throw these guys in order.
For redraft, if I was going to order these guys, how I would draft them, it's probably Ridley, Godwin, Thomas. But again, I need more information about Godwin's injury.
Yeah.
I would love more information about Ridley coming back. But
yeah.
If we're just talking about talent from those guys, like at this point, like who I think is most talented, let's just say everything's equal and they're on the football field, it's probably still Godwin and Ridley would be tough. I got to put Michael Thomas at the end of that list, though.
Man, it's fair. It's sad though.
I feel
like Michael Thomas will make a resurgence, but I don't know that it's going to be like that level, like Calvin Ridley level at this point.
And he's not going to have Drew Brees throwing him the ball.
Yeah, Drew's just fine. Drew's fine. Swamp saying, well, I don't hate my team so far.
I don't hate it at all. Let's
see. You got Patrick Mahomes, Stephon Diggs, Debo, T. Higgins, Aaron Jones, James Conner, Melvin Gordon, Rashad Penny. I like that. You kind of went, you waited on running back and then you went ham, which I kind of like that strategy. I don't hate that at all. I saw something about Mike Gesicki being traded to a different team. And I can't remember or signing with a different team. I can't remember the team that they were talking about
too, actually.
Is he out? Is he free agent this year?
Yeah, he's on their contract. I'm almost positive.
I thought so too. I don't think he's still on his rookie contract, I believe.
I mean, what would they do?
I don't know. I didn't read deep enough into it. I just saw the headline and it got me thinking.
So he is going into his 5th season. And
okay,
was
so
he a first
maybe
round pick? He probably is a free agent then.
No, I'm thinking of Goddard. He's a free agent. Okay, there you go.
Jordan's saying it. I'm gonna look it up.
And Jordan said the Chargers. Was it the Chargers? The Chargers doesn't stick out. Oh, maybe it is the Chargers.
Nope, I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen that rumor as well. That would be interesting.
Yeah. Well, what would that do for Gesicki's value in your guys' mind?
On the Chargers?
On the Chargers, yeah.
I think about even for me. Like, I think maybe he may get fewer opportunities in a crowded offense over there, but they'd probably be higher value opportunities for Gesicki. That's where I stand on it. I don't think it's moving him up or down too much on my board.
He'd go up.
I think it would move him up for me. Yeah.
I think he's uber athletic. Just get this guy with a really good quarterback, and I'm gonna get excited.
Yeah. Yeah. Throw him in that
There goes
offense with
Julio.
Herbert.
Dang it!
And-
You
Did you
wanted one of those quarterbacks?
I was gonna go Jared Goff, actually.
As your third
Goff.
QB.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs third QBs? Not me. I'm not taking one. Definitely not. No one else drafted QB though.
Simon, you went James Robinson here in the 10th round. Do you expect James Robinson will be back this season?
Maybe, but it's the 10th round, and there's a world where he's the head running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars and is very good. So I'll take a risk in the 10th round on a guy like that. Do I expect him to be like the James Robinson of old with Travis Etienne coming back from injury as well, a new coaching staff? Maybe not, but it's one of the outcomes. And there's very few players available in the 10th round that even have that in their range of outcomes, especially ones that we've seen it from before. So I'm comfortable with it at this point.
That's totally fair.
As strong as my team is, I don't hate that I won't have a third quarterback because there's plenty of space there, points there to play in that slot on a bye week.
Oh, absolutely. And there, looking at the quarterbacks, there's still guys available. Like on the waiver wire, there's still going to be. You got like all the rookies, and there's other starting quarterbacks. Not a ton, but you got a couple down there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And Brady's saying, me and Jordan got our finger on the pulse. Degenerates. And then Mark's saying, no, my Parham and McKitty dynasty shares if Gesicki goes to the Chargers. Yeah, I guess that would be
Yeah, it
sad.
would kill those. It would kill
Yeah.
those.
R.I.P.
And Mr. Scamper saying the best Broncos wide receiver is still available, Simon.
Is that Tim
Simon with
Patrick?
subtext there.
I have no
Maybe.
interest in Mr. Tim Patrick on my team.
Mr. Tim Patrick.
And
Is that what he's talking about? I assume.
I don't know. Probably.
You're on the board, Simon.
I know. I'm looking to see what my pick's going to be.
So John's got a question for us. He said, in case if you drafted Zeke, would you most likely want to go with Pollard as well? What do you think about that, Josh? If you're drafting Zeke, are you looking at target Pollard, maybe reach on him a little bit in a draft?
I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. For me personally, I am not one that typically likes to package running backs from the same team. However, Pollard's one of those few running backs that sets himself apart where you can plug him into your lineup even if you have Zeke. Like he can be started even when Zeke's healthy and playing. So Pollard's one of the running backs I am fine doing that with. It's not something I feel like I must do when I have Zeke though either. Because Zeke really doesn't have much of an injury history himself. He's usually out there like pretty much every game. So that's not a huge concern for me. But if Zeke were to go down, Pollard would be uber valuable.
Pollard, one of those guys to me that's more valuable if you aren't the person rostering Zeke in my eyes, because I'm not going to want to start Zeke and Pollard every single week together. It limits the upside of my team. But Pollard is one of those guys that I think is a startable asset even when the guy in front of him is in. Like you can plug Pollard in your flex and be okay with it most weeks.
Where did all the wide receivers go, guys?
I know. I was just thinking that.
Because like I thought they were so deep. They were so deep for so long.
And now they're gone.
Now they're all
They
gone.
vanished.
Kelly grabbed the last two ones that I was like confident. I was hoping I would either get Julio Jones or Tyler Boyd back around to me.
I wish I knew some of
Tyler
know
Boyd
you want
specifically.
that,
I wanted Boyd so bad.
You want that Robbie Anderson with that.
I don't like this pick at all, but I did it. Stacking Kenny Galladay with Daniel Jones.
In the 11th round. I don't hate it.
Josh,
Yeah,
if Kadarius Toney was there, so I took Toney 2 picks before you. Would you
Yeah,
have taken Toney
yeah.
over Galladay?
They're literally like even in my book. I
'Cause I was having
would,
that debate. I was going back and forth. Those are the two players I was
I'd
trying to
rather have
pick.
Kadarius Toney in a dynasty league, obviously. I don't know. I think that's obvious at this point. I'm just thinking Daniel Jones, he missed the majority of last season. Maybe the Giants offense figures out something and can get Kenny Galladay some decent targets. Yeah, I'd rather have Kadarius Toney. I'll take Kadarius Toney's upside.
Something I'm realizing here is because I draft wide receiver heavy early so often, I am very uncomfortable with the names down here at the bottom on the wide receiver board. Like I'm a lot more comfortable looking at the running backs, the quarterbacks, the tight ends down here, because those are the names I'm used to drafting in this area, because my wide receivers are usually locked up, ready to go by round 6 at the latest. I probably need to practice a bit more with this.
Mark
Z2
saying
does not hate his team this time.
he does not.
Congratulations, Z2.
Great job, Z2. Mark saying Galladay has to get force fed on that contract, right? You would think, but
You would think that this year.
you would have thought that this year, and they didn't. So I don't know what the Giants are going to do, to be honest.
Me neither. I know what
just
Josh is
know
going to
I'm
do.
Staying
You
far,
do?
far away from Robbie Anderson. That guy. Ugh.
Just broke your
Why
heart
does
this
he
year.
project him? Like his projections every year are like, oh, Robbie Anderson and his ADP so high. And then he like takes a shit on the field. I don't know. Like
Yeah, I'm not fully
Goodbye.
out on Robbie Anderson because this was just such an awful
Why
year for that
not?
offense. Like
It was-
the whole offense was terrible. DJ Moore, even with the like unreal
Oh,
target
shoot.
volume that he got, was
Sorry.
fine. You need me to pause it, Josh?
No, we're good.
Was
I did it
last year
anyways.
an awful year for them
Oh.
too?
Well, 2 seasons ago he started out really strong, right? Like that's the year that we saw the flash from him, where like he was the wide receiver 1 on that team through the first couple weeks, but yeah, it went downhill. I think he's got the talent, but I view him as like a wide receiver 3, and I think that's a fair value for him. Like I'm fine starting him, but I'm not drafting him as like my 1 or 2.
I think I'm just hurt.
Just hurt. Oh, there's the guys that have hurt me. Z2, where are you going? You gonna snipe me? Good luck, because I don't even know who I'm taking.
Jay saying it can't get worse for Galladay.
No,
And
it
Mark
can't.
said, Mark echoing that and saying Dable should help. Yeah, hopefully.
That's why I'm hoping the quarterback whisperer can get in there and talk some sense into Daniel Jones.
Yeah, whisper in his ears, sweet nothings.
Hey, play better. Play better.
So Josh, you taking Gallup with your last pick of this draft.
I don't love the pick, to be honest with you. Gallup's also coming off a pretty serious injury himself.
He's a
I don't
free
even know
agent,
if he's
right?
going to be. Yeah. I don't know if he's going to be even ready for the start of the season. I hope he will be. But if he's not, then this was a wasted pick, to be honest with you.
Does
happens.
anyone else think when they look at Daniel Jones that he's like the Wish version of Josh Allen?
I always think he looks like Eli.
Yeah, that's
always
always
liked
been
that.
my thought too. The
Yeah,
Wish
yeah.
version of Josh Allen, he does have that look. I've always viewed him as like just amazing that the Giants were able to find anybody that matched like the same like dopey expression
Vibe.
that Eli Manning has all the time. Like he captures the same vibe that Eli Manning captures. They just transitioned into a younger, differently packaged same version of the same vibe.
I don't know
with you,
who
JL,
said
on
it,
that one.
but someone said it. I always love this. It's like Daniel Jones looks like the actor they would hire to play Eli Manning in an Eli Manning movie.
Yeah, perfect description.
Guys, I wish you all could hear the sound effects too, because when the last pick's made, it goes, "Whoa," and then the draft is just over. It does make that noise as well. Guys, thank you so much to everybody who drafted along with us today. And Kelly, thank you so much for coming on and drafting with us. Everybody, if you do not already follow Kelly on Twitter, go and do that right now. She's on Twitter at Kelly in Phoenix. It is right there below her beautiful face on screen. So make sure you guys go over there and follow us. And then if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button on our channel at Front Yard Fantasy. It is such an easy way to show your appreciation. And like I said, Josh is adopting a puppy for every new subscriber we get today. I think he said 1,000. Maybe we'll compromise every 2. Josh, we'll meet in the middle.
Every 2
200
puppies.
subscribers we get today, I will get 1 puppy.
Okay, perfect. Cool.
You better
guys.
treat that puppy right, Josh. Those puppies.
Help the channel, save the puppies, and make Josh happy as well. Josh doesn't know how happy 100 puppies will make him, but man, you're going to be so happy over there, Josh.
Yeah,
Kelly, but thank you so much again for coming on with us. It's always fun streaming with you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime. Guys, that is going to be it for us this afternoon. Thank you again, everyone who drafted with us and hung out in the chat. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time for some more fantasy football game show fun, so make sure not to miss that. But until then, we are out of here, everyone.
See you tomorrow.
Adios.
Ready to make
Bye-bye.
fantasy fun? Hey, see ya!